Hey Deckers, I wasn't paying attention and Throne and Liberty launched into open beta. Fortunately, it is running on the Steam Deck better than I was expecting. That is, if you can actually get into the game, as it definitely has some server capacity issues, but with over 50,000 players trying to get into the beta, it's not surprising. However, diving around town, in very populated areas, it does struggle to hold 30 frames per second, but we kind of expected this when we've seen how New World performs on the Steam Deck. But when we are out and about in the world, even with all the spectacular graphics and morph abilities, we are pushing 40 to 60 frames per second, which is quite surprising, but nonetheless very good. Now, I'm running this at 1280 by 800 with a 60 FPS cap with the AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2 on quality mode, which does produce a little bit of fuzziness, but not too bad. The sharpening is only 0 or 1, so that's going to be a preference. I actually prefer it off for the most part. And then in the graphics settings, you want to start with the low preset, but put the anti-aliasing up to high, put the character quality on medium, as well as the shadow quality and texture quality on medium, and vegetation quality on medium as well. Then turn off depth of field and motion blur and put lighting quality on medium and shader preloading on high. Now this, for the most part, will give you a pretty stable experience between 40 and 60 frames per second out in the open world, but we are going to be constantly pushing 22.5 watts or a little bit above, so you're only going to get around 2 hours gameplay. Now the morph abilities are awesome, with you being able to run around as a tiger or puma type animal for the speed, and then having the eagle to glide long distances from great heights to stop you getting fall damage, and we even have an otter-like creature to swim great distances rather quickly, so it's not so bad traversing the world in a variety of ways. Combat is also feeling really good, and they have full controller mappings, and they've really thought through the controllers very well. You can get to every single menu with a controller combination, although sometimes it does switch from using the D-pad to a mouse-like joystick configuration, so do keep your eye out for that. But even with all the abilities that you can map to your controller bar, they all have their controller configurations set out, and it does seamlessly switch between mouse and keyboard and controller as well on the fly. If you do switch your configuration on the Steam Deck by accident, it's not going to completely ruin your day. Even at nighttime, as it does have a good day-night cycle in game, we are still pushing 50 frames per second plus for the most part with these settings. Now, this is the open beta, so expect there are going to be some bugs and issues, but this is a very promising start for running this on the Steam Deck, and with its launch only around a month away, it's definitely good to see. Are you going to be diving into Throne and Liberty on the Steam Deck or another device? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.